Y'all, welcome back to Leslie's Mature Makeup and Beauty. Today we've got a full face of Physicians Formula and I am super excited to try out some of these products. Several of them are newer to their line. Per usual, we're going to start with our eyes and I'll just kind of go over prices and that kind of stuff as we go. The only thing that I've used before, I have used the foundation a few times, and then the bronzers that I have used those in the past. Those are not new. But I grabbed their new eyeshadow palettes. One of them's the Matte Manoy Butter and one is the Butter Believe It. This one is all shimmery and then this one is all matte, and I don't love this packaging. I mean, it's sleeker than most Physicians Formula packaging, but the little plastic window in the front doesn't seem very sturdy. But that's what those look like. You know, like I said, this one's all shimmer, this one's all matte, and then these pan sizes, some of them are pretty small, which is like, why not just make them all the same? But either way, and they do, the matte one doesn't smell, but the Butter Believe It, the one with the shimmer, does have that Physicians Formula, you know, coconutty top scent, and I have dug my fingernail in there. And then I also grabbed, this is one of their new Diamond Metallic liquid eyeshadows, and I got the shade Golden Emerald. They had a purpley one that I really wanted, but they didn't have it in stock in my local store. But I want to try this too. It looks really pretty, and the packaging is super, super cute as well. These little shadow palettes retailed for $9.68, and then the Diamond Shadow retailed for $8.50, and I purchased these at my local Walmart, and of course that's that shadow kind of sheared out a little bit. But depending on where you purchase it, it can be more expensive. I know on like Ulta Beauty's website, these products retail for a couple of bucks more. I think the shadow palettes were like $12 there. So I'm just going to link everything where I bought it. So let's get started on our eyes. I'm going to go in first with my A502 into this matte palette, and this little plastic window, like if you were going to travel with this, I feel like that could be a disaster. Apparently I can't hold anything today either. But I'm going to go in with this kind of grayish taupe looking shade, and I do have my eye primer on. I just used my NYX eye primer and I set it down with a little bit of powder kick up, and definitely when I tap off my brush, you can kind of see a good bit of shadow flying, but that's fine with me. I don't care. We should swatch these. It feels super soft going on the eye. Not getting a ton of color from this shade. I mean, I can see it showing up, just not, which is a lighter colored shadow. But let's swatch a few of these. They feel super buttery. Yeah, they're definitely kind of on the lighter side. You know, you're not gonna be able to see that with this. I think I'm gonna go into the shadow next to it, this little bit deeper one here, and build that in the crease. And since I do have hooded eyes, I'm starting in my crease and then working it up in little circles so that you can see the shadow when my eyes are open. Just going to build that up a little more. I'm really excited to use this glitter shadow, or not glitter, the liquid metallic. It looks really pretty in the container. They had a purpley shade that I really wanted, but when I purchased everything, my store has a very small Physicians Formula section, and a lot of times it's pretty picked over. I think I'm gonna wipe my brush off here, and I'm gonna take that lighter shade that we started with and just diffuse the edge of that a little bit, kind of all the way up to the brow bone. Yeah, that's definitely giving some color. That shadow almost has kind of almost a little bit of a greenish tint to it. And I think I'm going to dip into this other palette, because even though this looks a little bit shimmery here in the very corner here, it doesn't look like it has a lot of shimmer. Like I can probably, you know, a lot of times with like a matte with glitter type shadow, once you kind of buff it out, let me just swipe it. Yeah, it doesn't really. Oh, I think that's actually just matte. Let me feel these shimmers. Oh, those feel really nice. The shimmers in this feel really buttery and soft. But I'm going to go into this deepest shade in this palette and start patting that on that outer corner. Oh wow, that went on super easy, super nice. Just kind of patting and dabbing just to get it right where I want it. That's almost kind of almost a rusty brown looking. That blended super, or went on super easy. I think I may take a little bit of the black in this Matte Manoy palette and see if we can deepen up that outer corner a little bit. Just going to use the same little flat shadow brush, and you can see like these pans, you know, this is my shadow brush kind of barely fits in there, but I'm not sure why they didn't just make them all the same size. And I'm just kind of lightly placing this on there just to kind of deepen that shade up a little bit, not necessarily to make it black per se. That's one of the things, you know, with a black shadow, it doesn't have to be black. You can use it to just deepen up. Same with a white, you can just use it to lighten up another shade. Or of course you can, you know, really pack it on and make it black. Yeah, I think that did a good job of deepening this up a little bit there. I'm going to take just a clean fluffy brush, kind of go around those edges just a little bit, just to make sure everything is kind of soft and diffused. these apply super easy. And now I want to try this metallic emerald green. Not sure if I want to. I think what I may do is take a kind of a firm flat brush, and I'm going to place a little bit of this on the back of my hand and then place it on the lid. And then we may use one of these other shimmers in this other palette to do a little inner corner highlight or something. This has got kind of like a little doe foot applicator. Like I said, I've never used this before, so I have no idea how quickly it's going to dry down. Oh, wow. That is gorgeous. It's kind of got a little bit, I don't know if it's picking up, a little bit of a gold kind of a reflect to it. That is really pretty. I'm going to put a little bit more on the back of my hand because it's definitely starting to dry. But you have a little time to work with it. It doesn't dry so fast that you're not going to have time to blend it out or that is stunning. I mean, that is just gorgeous. And this eye feels like it's dry, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable in any way. Really pretty. And like this on my hand that's been sitting here for a minute, I can still kind of smudge it a little bit. But I'm going to let this kind of sit for a second and see kind of how well it dries down. But that is beautiful. I think what I'm going to do is take that brush that we used for that deeper shade and just soften those edges a little bit so that we've got a softer blend or a transition there. I'm just using that brown shade that we laid down first out there, that deeper brown. And I am adding a little bit to my brush to go over those edges there. I might should have laid that down first and then went over with the powder. But that is a stunning shimmer. I'm going to clean this flat brush off. And I think I'm going to take this kind of brownie shimmer shade and lay that over that outer corner as well. And right up into that crease. Because I've kind of got a stark line there where that cream or liquid shadow meets the matte, so it was just looking kind of I didn't like the way that met there. So I think when I use that shade in the future, because I will definitely be grabbing for that again, as long as it doesn't do any kind of crazy wearing off, I will lay that down first and then go in with my matte shadow. And I think I want to take a little bit of this lighter shimmer. And obviously you don't have to use this many shades. I'm just trying to use as much as I can. And put right there, just on that inside portion of my lid. And then once I've got my foundation and everything on, I will probably go in with a little of that on the inner corner. But those blend really nice, and that it's probably not picking up on camera, but that liquid metallic shadow is really, it's like a duochrome, you know, it's really shifty. Very pretty. And I'm going to take a makeup wipe and just kind of clean up the edges of my eyes. Then we'll go in with our foundation. And I don't know if I mentioned it, the liquid shadows retail for like $8.50. I think they've got 3 different shades. There was that one, a purplier one. And I can't remember what other shade was available. Like I said, my store didn't have, the green was all they had, which was fine with me. Because it's really pretty. And I have used this foundation before, and I do like it better with a little bit of primer. I don't have a primer from Physicians Formula, so I'm just going to use my L'Oreal Age Perfect Blurring Face Primer, and then we'll go in with our foundation. I've still really been enjoying the Revlon primer. I just thought I would pull something out that I haven't used in a second. And the foundation I grabbed is the Healthy Foundation. Several of y'all have recommended this. The shade range is abysmal. I've got the shade MC1. And I think they only had like 3 or 4 shades in my local store. And I didn't write it down, and I cannot remember how many shades it actually comes in, but it's not a great shade range. It does dry down kind of quick, so I'm just going to work, you know, one section at a time. And the claims on this, it's a brightening complex for all skin types. It's packed with vitamins and antioxidants for healthy coverage, infused with Chinese Wuzu Yu extract and hyaluronic acid to brighten, hydrate, and even skin tone. They claim it is ultra blendable, lightweight, buildable, and breathable. And it does have an SPF of 20 in it, but you know the SPF in a foundation, you're not going to apply enough of the foundation to get that SPF. So you always need your own, you know, a separate SPF. And it does have just a big doe foot applicator. It is kind of it's got kind of a weird smell, almost like paint and I don't know, coconut or something. I'm gonna go in with a brush. I just picked up this BK Beauty 106 buffing foundation brush. Y'all know I usually love a sponge, but I have been really enjoying this brush. And you know, when you go in with a brush, you are going to get more coverage than you would with a sponge. And I'm just kind of patting, and then once I get everything patted in over here, I will probably do a little bit of a light, swirly, buffy type motion just to make sure everything is well blended. I'll do a little on the forehead, and then I'll come a little bit closer so y'all can see, you know, the difference with the foundation and without. And the smell, you know, once you get everything blended in, I don't notice it lingering on my face. I wanted to grab a concealer, but they did not have any at my local store, so I think this gives a pretty natural looking finish. So this is the side that has the foundation without the foundation. I think it's a light coverage with just one layer. I may build it up a little bit. But for summer, I do like a lighter. I generally like something a little bit lighter on my face just because it's hot where I live in the, you know, once we get into summer. Now this doesn't claim to be sweat proof, and it's definitely not. The last time I wore it, I had worn it to church, and when my husband and I got home that day, we had some trees that needed to be cut down. So we got out, and it was a pretty warm day that day, and did some work outside, and I got pretty sweaty, and it definitely you know, I could see it kind of dripping off my face. But when I have, you know, worn it not sweating, it wears pretty well, and as it wears off, it doesn't get, you know, it didn't get patchy or wear off really weird anywhere. But I think it gives a nice, I'm going to take it down my neck just a little bit, because I have gotten a little bit of sun lately, and I mean, I wear my SPF, but I think that shade's probably just a fuzz light for me, but that was the darkest I could get without. The other shades looked like super yellow. And I may see if I can build it up just a little bit over my worst age spots there. And I'm just going to kind of pat right over that just to try to keep that just kind of in that spot there. Which I earned my age spots, so I don't mind if they show through. I think it builds a little, but I find for me, my skin, if I try to build too much, I end up looking too cakey. Let me get close to y'all, and we will go outside. We don't have a lot of bright sun today. It's kind of been in and out, but I think it gives a nice light coverage, like a light medium, natural finish. And I am going to dab over with my sponge just to make sure if I have any excess anywhere. That it's grabbed and gone. And then I think I may take just a little bit of that directly under my eyes. Just kind of use light concealer. I grabbed this little e.l.f. complexion duo brush. Thought I'd give it a try. See how it compares to... I was going to try to see if I could find something similar to the 106 at a more affordable price, but that brush is... I've really enjoyed it. I actually don't mind spending a little bit more for a good brush or tool because I kind of feel like, you know, those are going to last a while. They're going to hang on a while. So I don't mind spending a little extra. And I think I'm going to take under the eyes. I'm going to do this kind of deeper shade. Just kind of drag a little bit of that under there. I think these two little palettes kind of go together well. You know, unless you like just an all matte, but I personally love a little shimmer. And I think I may see how this kind of greenish shimmer looks under the eye. Kind of in this inner corner where we did the... I need something pointier. Do this little Profusion flat brush here. It came off a little deeper than I thought it would. And that's a little darker than I want. So let's do... I'm going to take this lightest shimmer in the Butter Believe It palette and go over that so that it's lighten it up a little bit. And I did not notice a ton of fallout, but you know, I always tap my brushes off. Got a little low there. And I'm going to take a little of this up into the inner corner as well. And I'm kind of going right at the edge of that green up here just to give us a little, just for fun, I guess. And I did not grab, I think the only eyeliner they had at my store was a liquid liner, and I'm not a huge liquid liner girl. Oh, I did grab too this Butter Believe It face powder. I've seen really good things about these, and mine, it wasn't broke when I picked it up, but this lightest shade, some of it has chunked off. I don't know if maybe I, you know, getting it home made a mess with it, but it definitely has that butter bronzer smell. But I'm just gonna take a big fluffy brush and kind of set this down. And I think if you like to put powder under your eyes, I try not to. I think this, you know, if you stay up in this kind of lighter section, would probably give you a nice brightening effect. But I'm just gonna kind of swirl in, tap the brush off, and then pat. Yeah, that's definitely blurring. I haven't used this yet. Wow. I definitely did a good job kind of blurring my pores in this. It really blurred these pores. I don't know if it's going to pick up, but it's definitely really smoothing. Let's see how it does with a little, I'm going to use a little puff on the other side, just to see how it does. It's a very silky powder. And it is, this is supposed to be translucent, so even though it's got those different shades, it's definitely very smoothing. Just based on first impression, I really like this. Yeah, that's definitely very smoothing and blurring. This might be my new favorite powder. That looks really nice. Really, really nice. And that retails for like $11.07. And then the foundation is like $7.60. So, wow. I need my mirror to look at that. That definitely really blurred my pores. That is a nice powder. Really nice. I just wish it wasn't so chunky. You know, they give you the, I guess there's maybe a brush under here or something. Yeah, there's a mirror under here and a little weird brush that I just broke the little clippy thing on there, but that's fine. That's fine. And then for, that is really pretty powder. For mascara, I grabbed their new Diamond Mascara. This packaging is like hefty. And this mascara says it lengthens, lifts, and separates. It is their mineral wear mascara, and I think it's supposed to be key ingredients: lustrous diamond dust, 100% certified authentic diamonds. What's that supposed to do? I don't know. Lash strengthening peptides, soothing mineral water, and nourishing vitamin E. So we're going to apply some of this. I have not used this yet, so I'll have to, you know, hopefully we can check in later and, you know, see if it flakes or smudges or, it's got a fat end. It's a silicone one, but it's kind of got that fat end like the Lash Warrior from Flower. So let's see what this looks like. Definitely feels like a pretty wet formula. So that is one coat on this eye. Of course, nothing over here. And this wand is kind of weirdly shaped. I don't know if it's going to pick up. But like the bristles in the center of the brush are shorter than those on either end. So far, it's looking pretty good. These lashes on this eye are just kind of wild lately. Probably should have tried to curl them and kind of get them in line. Let's go in for coat number 2. I don't know how great it's separating per se, but I feel like it's giving a little more volume than what I expected. But this wand is kind of weird because there's some places on it that don't really have bristles, so there's just like a lot of product on it. It's definitely clumping a little. It's like I'm getting a ton of product on my lashes from the areas of this brush that don't have a lot of bristles, which is kind of weird. Not sure how I feel about this. I don't know. Let me see if I can get closer so y'all can see. Like on this eye over here, like I have got just a ton of product. It's like I've got like big giant lashes. I mean, like it's like not in a good way. I do not think that is a very separating formula. Because it's definitely causing my lashes to clump together, which is not. I like a separated but voluminous lash. Definitely not my favorite first experience with a mascara. Yeah, now that this has been sitting for a minute, it's not going anywhere. I mean, I got a little bit of from the vigorous rubbing on my finger there, but looks like it sets down pretty good. And I'm going to try to get a little of this mascara on my lower lashes. I'm almost scared. I mean, I got a little bit of transfer down there just from. I'm going to try to really scrape this wand off, because I don't want a ton of mascara on my lower lashes. Yeah, it's just a weird wand. Not sure. I don't think I like that wand. Definitely not my favorite one, but that's 2 coats, and y'all seen I had to comb out all those clumps. Definitely not my favorite. So let's do a little bronzer and blush. I think I'm just going to use the old standby, the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I've had this for a while. This is just the shade, what does it say, Sunkissed Bronzer. You know, I can't remember what. Just going to go in with a big fluffy brush. Just going to make sure it's cleaned off. I don't have anything on there from before, because I definitely think I did. And this is one of those bronzers that's got a good bit of pigment, and it does have that classic, you know, coconutty scent. But it's a really pretty bronzer, and it kind of gives you a little bit of a luminous finish, I guess I'd say, to your skin. I thought about using the cream bronzer that I have from them, but since I powdered my whole face, I didn't want to. I wasn't sure how it would apply, but to me a good cream product will, you know, go over powder. And then for blush, I picked up this cute little butter blush. Now it is smaller than like the bronzer or the powder. The powder is the same size as the bronzer, and then this is, you know, a little bit smaller. Same kind of clunky packaging. It does have a little weird brush underneath it as well, and a little mirror. And this little guy retailed for $11, and you know the bronzer is around 11 as well, but it's got all these different kind of tones in it. Super cute. And I'm going to take just a little small fluffy blush brush, and I'm just going to kind of swirl in all of them, but I think, you know, if you kind of stay down here, you're going to get a little lighter tone. I'm just going to give it a little swirl. I'm going to tap that brush off because I'm not sure. It has a little bit of almost a flowery scent. It's really pretty. I think that's a pretty shade. Build up a little more over here. Y'all know I like a little bit of blush everywhere. I think that's a really pretty blush, and it's very, you know, kind of smoothing on the skin. Yeah, that's definitely pretty. I think that's really cute. It feels super silky too. Yeah, very soft powder. You know, kind of like their, all of these powders, like the face powder, the eyeshadows, they all have that similar texture to the butter bronzer, if you've ever felt that, which I know that one's kind of been around forever, so. And then for lips, again, at my store, they didn't have a lot, but I grabbed one of their Diamond Plumper glosses. This was the only shade they had, and it is called Champagne Cushion Cut. And I am going to put on a little bit of lip liner. They didn't have, I don't even know if Physicians Formula has lip liner, so I'm just going to use a little bit of this L'Oreal Color Riche Matte in 110 Matte's It. I'll wipe off anything on my lips. I'm just going to fill these in right quick and then we'll apply the gloss together. So I've got that lip liner on, and I did just leave the center of my lips kind of bare. And we'll go in with this little doe foot. Let me see. Feels kind of thick. That's what that shade looks like just by itself. Definitely looks a little pinkier than I expected. Doe foot's a little bit floppy. A little bit of a cooling sensation, but not, you know, it's not painful. All right, so that's our finished full face of Physicians Formula. I really like the way the eyes turned out. I know I put on like 15,000 shades, but I think in the end they turned out pretty well. I really love that powder. It was a very, oh, I forgot. I grabbed their Essence of Healthy setting spray. So it's taped. Spray a little bit of this on. It's got, it's a toner and setting spray, which I haven't used it yet, so, you know, obviously it'll take a minute to formulate any opinions on this, but it's got galactomyces ferment. It's like 95%, so then that is supposed to be a good anti-aging. It's a nice mister. Very, I don't notice a scent. It's a very fine mist. But I'm definitely going to try this, like, I have just misted the world down here. Definitely going to try that like a, as an actual toner. But let's go outside and see if we can get some natural light. Oh, I was going to tell you my thoughts. I think my very favorite thing that I've used today is probably this powder. It's a very smoothing powder, and I love also the eyeshadow palettes were really good, but this diamond metallic, I think it's really pretty, and I really think it kind of brings out the green in my eyes. Really pretty. But these eyeshadow palettes, the blush, the lip gloss does not feel sticky or tacky. Like, it's a nice thick gloss, a little bit of a cooling sensation, but not, you know, it doesn't like burn or anything. So I really like that. The only thing really that I don't like is the mascara, and that's a wand issue for me. But I think all the stuff, I really have enjoyed it. The foundation, you know, like I said, I've used it before. It wears pretty well, and I've liked it the times that I've worn it. But I think my very favorite thing of the day was that powder. I mean, it just really smoothed and blurred, and which I like the eyeshadows too. I think the look turned out really pretty, but let me quit rambling and we'll take a peek outside in natural light so y'all can kind of see how everything looks. All right, so we are outside. I'm kind of underneath the overhang of the porch. It's just a little bit drizzly outside, but I know this is kind of a darker eye look for the spring, but I love it. I love that metallic liquid shadow. I think it's beautiful. And this camera, this phone is not doing it any justice. It's really super like shifty. You've got a little bit of gold and green in there. The foundation I think looks good. That powder was super smoothing. I think it looks great on my skin. It doesn't look powdery or cakey. Really, I liked everything except for the mascara, and that was a wand issue with that mascara. It was really just weird. The gloss feels good. It's not sticky. I think everything turned out really pretty. If anything doesn't wear well, I will put an update in the description box or pin a comment or something. But when I've worn the foundation before, it wore well. It didn't wear off weird or anything, so I don't expect it to do so today. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I thank you guys so very much for your support. We're at about 175 subscribers, so we're nearly at 200, and that's all thanks to y'all. Just thanks again for watching and your support. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, y'all.